say that should be a good thumbnail. Hey everybody, I'm Zach.
I'm Jake.
We are the Dirt Road Men. Here this week to do our talk video, our Monday Palaver. For anybody wondering, we stole that straight out of the Dark Tower series. I always like to call it the Gunslinger series, but whatever.
Makes sense.
Same thing. We're doing another current events video this week because a bunch more stuff happened that we have an opinion on, and also we didn't come up with anything better to talk about. So here we go. So firstly on the list, as a follow-up to the stuff we talked about with North Korea last week, Trump has now officially been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize for facilitating the end of a conflict that's been going on since 1950.
It's for actually something to do with peace.
Yeah, go figure.
Unlike other
Presidents. Yeah. Not that I have, like, super big problems with our last president. Just, this guy leans more in a direction I like. He also does some stupid stuff, as we've repeatedly said. But on the whole, policy-wise, like, basically the only two things he's done that, the only one thing he's done that, like, genuinely upset me was the increased spending bill.
Yeah, he just worked so hard to get to where we look like we're heading in the right direction, and then
yeah, and then he kind of dropped the ball on that. But he has introduced this last week a bill to do Congress term limits, which I think everybody should be able to get behind that one.
Yeah.
I know a girl that we both know that is very much for term limits that ought to like that particular piece of legislation.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Your sister-in-law. So.
Which one? My wife's? Or...
Yes. Okay. Yes. Fair enough. But so that was cool. The Nobel Peace Prize thing, I think there's a solid case for that, and the House of Representatives nominated him for it.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I mean, it is a cool thing, and even though I kind of attribute it more to Mattis, if we're gonna crap on him when anybody in his administration does dumb stuff, I'm gonna give him credit when his administration does good stuff. So. He's leading it, so whatever. I just thought we'd touch on that because, like, my wife's mom saw that and was like, "This is like the dumbest thing I've heard all day." And I was like, "I don't know. I think there's actually a case for this one."
Yeah.
End of the Korean conflict. Like watching that footage, like we talked about last week, is just 68 years, almost 70 years of conflict.
Yeah, that's like we went in the 50s.
1950. I looked it up. Yep. We went in. We were there from 50 to 53.
Okay.
Officially. We went back and defended the DMZ later and did some other stuff. But, yeah.
Mattis walked across it, so...
Yeah! He was just like, "Hey, buddy, shoot me. Please, God, shoot at me." Somebody at work was like, "I think if anybody should be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, it should be Mattis." And I was like, "You've obviously never heard that man speak." You can't give the Nobel Peace Prize to a guy that's been quoted on camera saying, "Sometimes it's fun to shoot people."
Or, "Sometimes it is perfectly acceptable to kill a fly with a sledgehammer."
I like that one.
You should always carry a knife, in case there's cheesecake, or you need to kill somebody.
You meet someone that needs stabbed in the throat.
Ah.
We've been quoting Mattis for a lot of our lives. Longer than I actually knew his name, we've been quoting him. So, we're kind of fanboys.
Yeah.
If y'all are curious, sometimes your cigar burns wrong, and if you don't have a torch lighter, any flame will do to keep it from canoeing. Unless you burn the hell out of yourself like I'm doing.
But that's good, because you're feeling your fingers.
No, I actually can't feel it. I just know I'm burning my fingers because I can see the flame around my finger. Thank you.
That's how I burn my fingers.
These particular matches aren't very good for cigars.
It's just weird because we got them at a cigar shop.
They even tell you, though, like, they're not cigar matches. They're just cheap. We give them away for free.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Fair enough.
let's move on to the next thing. The thing that I think is going to make a lot more people mad. I think this is touchier than the gun issue as far as anything we've ever touched on.
Really?
Yeah. Abortion.
Oh. Yeah, that's a touchy subject with some.
Iowa just passed a new law that basically is my wife's view on abortion, which is if you can detect a heartbeat, you can no longer have an abortion. The heartbeat is how they define the start of life. That's at like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of like that. I've always been foggy on the abortion issue because, like, it's wrong to me. Like, it feels wrong in my gut.
Yeah.
Right? But I've had a hard time articulating how that should be legislated because I'm also a big fan of the government not telling people what they can do.
Yeah.
Don't
need the government to hold my hand.
Exactly. So, like, there's a conflict for me there, except that it is the government's job to protect life. It's actually in the Constitution.
Everybody has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah. And notice they say pursuit. They don't say you have the right to be happy.
No.
You have the right to try.
It's up to you to be happy.
Yeah. Fun secret there for our Hard Truth segment. But,
that'd be a good, that would be a good...
I kind of like the one I was going to do this week.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. It gave me an excuse to not have to write it.
There you go.
So, if you don't follow us on Facebook, head over there and check out Hard Truths and Bamfs of History. I really like the Bamfs of History segment. I gave it to Jake because I like how he tells those stories better than I like how I tell those stories. And I wasn't sure you guys would like the Hard Truths, so I figured I'd do it because I don't mind if people don't like me. So...
What, I just have to have everybody love me?
No, you're just better at telling those kinds of stories.
It's just giving you...
Roll it back now.
Huh?
Nothing.
Roll a what now?
I said, I'm just giving you, roll it back now.
Right in the spleen.
But, yeah, I kind of like this particular abortion law, because it gives you a window, right? Like, we've talked before, and to us, the acceptable window is, like, get that morning after pill. I don't care if you have to lie, cheat, steal, whatever. We're not endorsing it. We're not saying go do it.
No.
But I'm telling you right now, coming up with $60 for the morning after pill is a lot cheaper than raising a kid. I pay considerably more than that a month. So, I don't care how broke you are. Sell your shoes, sell your car, whatever. Literally sell your car. If you sell your car and you cannot get to work, and you really don't want to raise a kid, sell your damn car and buy the morning after pill. Buy a few so, you can enjoy it since you no longer have a car. Your woman's probably going to leave you anyway. But... But,
You have 3 days.
Yeah, you have 72 hours to come up with $60. Like, come on, dude. I bet most of you, if you go to your boss and you literally just tell them, they will be like, okay. Not that they need in your business, but man, if you're in a pinch, do it. I'm sure your boss would.
Oh, probably.
Your boss is cool as heck, though. Not that my boss isn't, but my boss isn't going to let me borrow her car to get to work. Put it that way.
My boss let me borrow his $60,000 truck to get home.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think of that new Iowa law?
I think it's cool. Like I'm with you on that. The whole topic. I don't think it's right. Murder's murder, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, and that's where like the conflict comes for people, right?
Is where does
you define it as a life?
Yeah.
Yep. And I think Shapiro's favorite argument is like, does the birth canal magically bestow life somehow? Does it have some sort of like life granting properties?
I think the heartbeat is something everybody could agree on. And that's.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people would think that's too early, but like,
I mean, if it's a beating heart,
yeah,
like it's okay. How do they define death?
Yeah, they pronounce you dead when your heart stops, right?
Yes. So they should pronounce you alive when your heart's beating.
I think that's a fair compromise because, like, most women tend to find out between 4 to 6 weeks, in my experience. Some of them find out between 6 and 8, but like, stay on your stuff. You know what he did. So, like, I don't know. There's not a whole lot we can actually say about that, but I thought it was an interesting law. I thought it would be interesting to present to you guys, and I thought it might generate some interesting conversation and maybe some hate comments, but whatever. We're no stranger to those after this Stand Up for the Flag protest.
I was giggling for like an hour, reading through all the comments and people bickering back and forth, and so much butthurt and so little time.
It's like, they didn't make abortion illegal. They just said, you have a short window. Get to it.
I mean, they just closed the window a little bit. It was getting a little chilly.
Yeah.
So
and that kind of brings us into another subject that might tick some people off, but I think fewer than the abortion argument. The Soy Scouts of America.
The what?
The Soy Scouts.
Is that what they're calling it now?
No, they're just calling it Scouts. That's
Soy
actually,
Scouts.
I took that from Owen Benjamin. Shout out to the Unbearables. I got verified this week as a Dirt Road Bear. But
Dirt Road Bear.
Yeah. So Owen Benjamin, this is totally off topic, but whatever, it's our talk video, right?
Yeah.
Owen Benjamin's a comedian. We've talked about his bit for years where he talks about like the difference between boys and girls and it becomes a difference between men and women.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of got like blackballed by Hollywood for saying that it's child abuse to give your 6-year-old kid hormone blockers to make your child transgender. Like, if you want to be transgender, that's fine when you're 18 and you're old enough to kind of make that decision for yourself. And if your parent wants to like let you live dressing up as the other gender, that's on them.
Yeah, that's
like as long as they're not forcing you to do it. But like, it is also a parent's job to shape you, especially when you're that young. Like, I don't have a problem if a kid's that young with the parent telling them, no, you're not doing that, boy.
Yeah.
But like, anyway, Owen Benjamin spoke up about that, kind of got blackballed by Hollywood, and he's like, I don't care, I'm going to say what I think. And
First Amendment.
Yeah, but he was famous enough that a lot of people noticed, kind of like the Kanye thing, but not famous enough that it didn't stop them from like shutting him out. And he didn't have a problem with it anyway. He'd already moved out of Hollywood because of some stuff that happened with his family that I won't get into. Watch his live streams on Vimeo to do that. But I've been watching as he's been slowly deplatformed because he's a comedian, and a comedian's job really is to kind of tell the truth. Mm-hmm. Like the things that people don't say, and try to present it in a funny way. But like he got banned from Twitter for saying to David Hogg that he doesn't have any short hairs, so he shouldn't tell adults how to live their lives. Hopefully we don't get demonetized for talking about that joke. But I didn't say it the way he did, and I'm just talking about what got him banned. And so he got banned from Twitter for life. And For life. So he got deplatformed by a company that says they're pro-free speech. And then he got blocked from YouTube when he uploaded a video talking about Jordan Peterson appearing on Bill Maher. They said it was like hate speech. So YouTube has blocked him from uploading until July. And he keeps getting deplatformed. He can no longer live stream on Facebook either. So he's down to like Vimeo, his own website, and he has a Facebook group called The Unbearables. And he's creating UNN, which is kind of a political satire thing, the Unbearable News Network. And he goes by Bear Motif, if you haven't gathered. But yeah, he's right on a lot of things. And he actually has an IQ of 147. Like, he tested into an IQ of 147.
Oh.
That's fairly high.
What's the highest ever recorded that you know of?
The top of the scales is like 180.
There was I saw a guy on YouTube the other day whose estimated was 200.
Yeah. It's basically almost impossible to measure people once they go past like 180, so they just go like 200 plus. But yeah. Also, there's a kind of an issue that people talk about where, like, as you pass 160 and you get further up on the other side of 160, you start to kind of detach from reality, like from the rest of the world. So that creates issues. But Owen Benjamin has a song called "Soy Boy," and he's making fun of vegans essentially. And he posted a video called "Soy Scouts of America."
That's awesome.
Talking about this. So the boys,
man, that's what got the whole thing was the Soy Scouts. Okay.
Yeah. So we're back on topic now. Boy Scouts are now allowing girls into the Boy Scouts, but Girl Scouts are not allowing boys into the Girl Scouts. First off, Girl Scouts are also still a thing. So there's no longer Boy Scouts; they're just Scouts, but there's still just Girl Scouts.
That's dumb.
Also, like, young boys and teenage boys, like, should be able to have a thing that's kind of just for them and developing them into men.
Yeah.
And if there are shortcomings in Girl Scouts that Boy Scouts does better, I really think they should have focused on fixing Girl Scouts, not forcefully integrating.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta caveat that statement by saying they're not forcefully integrating. They're making it to where it's allowed. The girls still have to, like, volunteer to do it. They're not making the Girl Scouts go into Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
But I just think it's ridiculous. I mean, there have been problems with Scouts for a few years, like our whole lives.
Yeah.
But Momo was a Scout, and he didn't have any problem. But, you know, we heard about Scouts and issues they had with the leaders kind of getting a little Catholic priesty with some of their boys. So... Y'all know the stereotype. Don't look at us funny. But yeah, that's some more stuff that I think is pure unadulterated BS. Yeah, I figured you would concur.
I actually I saw a thing where they were talking about changing the name, and I sent it to Big John, and he never messaged me back.
I'd love to get his thoughts, because he actually, got to, like, go through Scouts. I got to get in Scouts, and then I went for, like, a few weeks.
Did he make it to Eagle?
Yes, he did.
So he went all the way through Scouts.
Yeah. That's why he kicked around the idea of going into the military for a while before he broke his back. Yeah, I just think there's definitely a case to be made. Obviously, we're a kind of man-centered and man-targeted channel. That boys should be able to have their own thing where they can build camaraderie, especially like prepubescent, going into puberty, and in puberty boys. You maybe don't want to integrate them with girls. Literally just so, like, they can speak freely and, like, learn.
Yeah, bouncing ideas off of other males.
Because, like, prepubescent me isn't going to want to talk about some stuff in front of chicks that I would be willing to talk about with just guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, like, especially, like, if I have questions, I don't want chicks to know I have those questions if I'm 12 years old. So, I hope it goes back, or if not, the free market decides to come up and replace it with something like that. Because I still think there are good things about Scouts, like survival skills and general things of that nature that deserve to be taught to young boys specifically, because it deserves to be taught to both, but, like, they should be able to have their own space if they choose to. They shouldn't be forced to allow girls in.
Like, The only thing I really know of Girl Scouts is
Cookies?
they shake you down for cookies.
Right. And I've been told that repeatedly. Actually, one of our friends, Jess, talked about how she thinks girls should be allowed in Boy Scouts because they're better about teaching survival skills and stuff like that. And I was just like,
why not teach that in Girl Scouts?
yeah, why not just force that into Girl Scouts? Like, if that's what you want, demand it.
Yeah.
Free market selection will do the rest. Like, if they start getting sucked dry like they're probably going to do because of this, the issue would fix itself. But,
Never... I don't know. The world's...
We're in our, like, mid to arguably late 20s. Mid for you.
Very
exactly mid.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
My
birthday's coming up.
It is. We should do a birthday stream.
Okay.
If we can figure out live streaming from here. Oh, I guess we won't be able to do that on your birthday, though, will we? Your wife's got plans.
On my birthday.
Oh, okay.
We can do it on my birthday. My birthday's on a Thursday.
I bet I could take that evening off. I'm going to have to take, like, a week off probably this month, so.
We should take, like,
that week.
this week?
The week of your birthday?
To there. Yeah, like.
Oh, Wednesday to Wednesday?
Wednesday to Wednesday. Just screw with everybody. Thursday to Thursday.
Yeah.
You gotta figure out how to miss out on both Fridays.
It's not a bad idea.
Anyway.
If you have some ideas for gun videos, we've got a lot of stuff in the works right now, and until we sell a few more boxes, we've made some decent money on boxes up to this point, but we're still not quite at break-even point. If you have some ideas on new merch you would like, I know we've had t-shirts requested. We'll probably come up with some quotes that maybe some people can vote for, even though, you know, yeah. Anyway, if you have some ideas for that, if you have some ideas for issues about guns we could talk about, because we've really addressed the Second Amendment and its intent. We've really addressed gun control in general, I think as best we can. And we've talked about gun safety. So, if you guys have some ideas, Rory's very fond of commenting on our videos. If you have an idea, let us know, and we'll see what we can pull off until we can afford to get a more mobile camera situation. So I think, sorry, go ahead.
What kind of camera is that? What's the model number?
I don't know. Right now?
So if you have an extra battery for this particular...
Yeah, mail it to us. So anyway, we'll link the whiskey box down in the description, and we hope that, you know, you'll let us know some other stuff you would like. We'll probably come up with some t-shirt ideas and present them to you guys. And until then, I think that's all we've really got for our talk to open up the week. Alright,
Okay.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jake.
We are the Dirt Road Men. Hey everybody, if you like this video, hit a like or dislike, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you really like what we're doing, check us out over on Facebook, where we post every day.